The real estate market, a complex ecosystem driven by the ebb and flow of human needs and desires. Much like the natural world, it experiences periods of growth, stability, and occasionally turbulent storms. Today we find ourselves at a crossroads, with experts and ordinary citizens alike asking a critical question. Are we on the precipice of another real estate bubble? Join us as we delve into the key indicators that will determine the future of this vital market. Central banks, those guardians of economic stability, are locked in a delicate dance with inflation. Their weapon of choice? Interest rates, those levers that can either stimulate or cool an economy. As interest rates rise, borrowing becomes more expensive, casting a long shadow on the real estate market. Mortgages, the lifeblood of home ownership, become less attainable, potentially dampening demand from eager buyers. But tread carefully, for raising rates too swiftly can have unintended consequences. The market could stagnate, with prices remaining stubbornly high while transactions dwindle. This delicate equilibrium, this tension between supply and demand, holds the potential for significant price corrections. And if demand were to plummet, the bubble, if one exists, could burst with unpredictable consequences. The delicate balance of supply and demand, a fundamental principle of economics, is never more apparent than in the housing market. In recent years, a perfect storm has been brewing. Urbanization, the relentless migration of people to bustling cities, has placed immense pressure on housing stock. Coupled with this, the rise of remote work has untethered individuals from traditional office spaces, allowing them to seek housing in suburban and rural areas, further fueling demand. Yet the ability to build new homes to increase supply has been hampered. Construction costs soar and labor shortages abound, creating a bottleneck in the construction pipeline. This limited inventory, faced with insatiable demand, has propelled prices skyward. A precarious situation, for if demand were to shift or if supply were to suddenly increase, the bubble, inflated by these imbalances, could burst. The allure of quick profits, the siren song of speculation, can be a powerful force in real estate. Investors, their eyes on the prize, purchase properties not as homes, but as commodities, with the sole intention of reselling them at a higher price. This speculative frenzy can create localized hot markets, where prices become detached from fundamental values. Cities and emerging markets, often seen as ripe for growth, become particularly susceptible to these speculative bubbles. While regulations have been implemented since the dark days of the 2008 financial crisis, some regions still witness risky lending practices and unchecked speculation, echoes of a past we would be wise to heed. Chapter 4: Household Debt Levels. The spectre of household debt, a lingering reminder of past crises, looms large over the current real estate market, yet there is a glimmer of hope. Compared to previous eras of excess, household debt levels are now under closer scrutiny. The scars of 2008 run deep, and mortgage qualification standards have been tightened, making it more difficult for individuals to take on risky loans. However, the stability of this equilibrium is not guaranteed. Economic headwinds, such as rising unemployment or runaway inflation, could erode the financial well-being of homeowners. Foreclosures, those harbingers of market distress, could rise, flooding the market with distressed properties and potentially triggering a domino effect of falling prices. Chapter 5: Government and Policy Intervention. Governments, those stewards of national economies, often find themselves compelled to intervene in the housing market, particularly when it represents a significant portion of their economic activity. Their toolbox is filled with policy instruments designed to stabilize this vital market. Subsidies for first-time buyers, tax breaks that incentivize home ownership, and adjustments to interest rates can all influence the delicate balance of supply and demand. But these interventions, while well-intentioned, are not without risk. Overuse of such policies can artificially inflate prices, creating a bubble that, when the supports are eventually removed, could burst with devastating consequences. Chapter 6: Global Economic Volatility. The world, interconnected by invisible economic threads, is in a constant state of flux. Geopolitical tensions, disruptions to global supply chains, and shifting immigration patterns all exert their influence on the real estate market. Economic downturns in one corner of the globe can ripple outwards, reducing foreign investment in real estate markets far away. This heightened volatility makes predicting future demand patterns increasingly difficult. People may flock to certain locations seeking stability or opportunity, creating sudden surges in demand that fuel speculative buying and further inflate potential bubbles. Outro: a market in the balance. The real estate market, much like the natural world, is a complex and interconnected system. Its future trajectory remains uncertain, influenced by a myriad of factors, both domestic and global. As we have seen, the potential for another bubble is real, driven by a confluence of low interest rates, increased demand, and speculative investment. However, there are also signs of resilience, with stricter lending standards and a greater awareness of the risks involved. Only time will tell whether the market will continue to climb, plateau, or experience a correction. One thing is certain: the decisions made by individuals, investors, and policymakers in the coming months and years will have a profound impact on the future of this vital market.